For today's episode, I'd like to highlight the work of a fantastic industry charity. The Film and TV Charity supports people in the UK film and TV industry at every stage of their career and beyond. From their important work on mental health, which led to the creation of the Whole Picture programme, and their help for crew being affected by COVID-19. If you, a member of your family or a friend who works in the industry, needs help or someone to talk to, please go to filmtvcharity.org.uk.
Let's get started.
So, hi, Form family. So, starting a new format. This is called #Trending, and it's about what's going on in the industry at the minute. We've got the wonderful Jay Lusser. So, Mr. Jay Lusser, welcome back, sir. Thank you for recording your profile app. It's got a lot of views. Thank you.
Very welcome. Glad to be back.
So, what is happening in our industry at the minute?
What industry? what industry is that then?
Yeah, this is it.
Well, yeah, good question. Well, right. So all production has ceased at the moment. In terms of shooting, in terms of actual filming.
Yep.
I'm not sure what is going on, if anything, in terms of development and post-production side. I would imagine that shows that have already shot and completed shooting or nearly completed shooting will be going into post-production phase, where it's possible for people to work remotely or in facilities where they're not coming into contact, where they're coming into contact with a regular team. There's a term I've heard recently which is about teams being siloed. So you have a site where there's a working crew, and only those crew go to that site. So even if you've got other sites within the company, there's no crossover between those sites. So nobody goes from one site to the other. So that if somebody comes down with corona in those sites, they can just shut the one site down, and the rest of production
minimizing it.
That's more. It's not so much in film production world. That's in some other areas. But it's possible I would have thought in post production that you could have siloed crews working on sound post production, editing, special visual effects, that kind of thing, to a degree. But I'm speculating. I don't really have that for sure. On the production side, everyone's been laid off. The studios are shut for 4 weeks. So Pinewood and Shepperton have closed down. Netflix has ceased all production for the time being. I know that some of the the big Disney films that are shooting, like Little Mermaid, I think they're on 2 weeks, and then they go into their 2 weeks full pay, and then they go into the government scheme, I think. And everything is.
Is that the cat just turned up?
That was the cat to turn up to try and scratch the chair. So yeah, that's where we are really, and all freelancers are off work, and people have been getting very nervous. The government made the announcement at the end of last week about employment packages for the employed. It was their payment packages for the employed, and benefits packages for the employed. There's been a lot of campaigning and noise about what about the self-employed, and there are discussions in progress. Certainly, there's a section in the coronavirus bill which went through third reading in the House of Commons last night and is now being passed up to the House of Lords, which deals with the self-employed and freelance, which is good. Which is very good.
Positive.
It seems to be around the parity with the benefits being offered to employed people. There's some question marks because freelancers in the film industry structure themselves in different ways. Some are purely self-employed and just work on a contract by contract basis. Everything comes into their personal accounts and they claim expenses at the end of the year. Some people are set up under what's known as a PSC, which is a single director limited company.
Yep.
And then all the money gets paid into a company, and the director then takes a combination of salary and dividends to make up their self-employed income over the course of the year. And there's a lot of speculation at the moment, should we say, about whether the regs are going to include those people or those guys or not, or whether the people are going to fall through the cracks. From what I can tell, and this is just as completely as a layperson and reading as many sources as I can, it feels like the government are trying to do the right thing by as many people as possible, because they realise how serious this is, and they don't want people needing to go out and work. So we'll see. We'll see probably by the end of the week where that comes out. It seems that they'll be making an announcement by the end of the week, possibly an interim announcement even as early as later on today.
Amazing. So I guess some positive news. There's lots of people we're on kind of semi-lockdown, but there was buses and trains and everyone was still kind of working their way and going into work. How, on a personal perspective, are you taking this as like I'm going to suddenly read that book and watch that film and do some, what are you doing, brother?
I'm doing the gardening. We're sort of redoing the garden. We're waiting on a very important delivery today, which we hope will come out of some chippings and some soil.
All right.
But if that arrives, then that'll give us something to do for the rest of this week. And got some timber in the garage to try and build some shelves and things. So it's just keeping active and keeping busy.
Have you got a daily routine yet?
No, not really. I mean, I think I haven't got to that stage now where we're enforcing a routine. I think there's enough sort of to be getting on with to keep pottering around for most of the day. I was lucky enough that one day at the end of last week and one day this week to be working a lot with a friend of mine's scenic construction company, and they just needed someone to they're overhauling their risk assessments, their workshop risk assessments and fire risk assessments and the like. So the workshop manager there slammed with other things and reacting to all the changes. So I got a couple of days work out of that, which was nice. But yeah, that's gone now. Obviously, they'll be going into shutdown by the end of the week because they're running out of production work to be able to running out of things to be able to make for the sites that are, some of which are still ongoing and some of which are not. So I think, I mean, certainly for us, we're now, we're doing the thing. We're in lockdown, apart from shopping and exercise. And that's 3 weeks. And then I'd be pretty surprised if they come out in 6 weeks, in 3 weeks rather. I'd be pretty surprised if they come out of it in 6 weeks, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to follow the news coming out of China over the next few days, because they're relaxing Hubei province lockdown as of today. And in 2 weeks' time, they're planning on relaxing Wuhan city lockdown. So it will be interesting to look at information coming out of China, and whether there are new cases, whether releasing the lockdown means you get a new spike in cases or not.
Nice. And I guess best case scenario for us as an industry, with that 3 month time period as well, then it's all kind of guns blazing and back to it.
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows. We're all speculating. From the commercial sector anyway, the APA have come out and they're trying to encourage people to keep pitching, to keep treating on ideas. That if there are ideas that they want to put into production, and then animation might be an option, or visual effects jobs might be an option. As I said, they might still be able to keep running with those at the moment. The issue of actually getting people back onto set is a little bit more. Sorry, I should have quit my mail app before we started this call.
I've been having the same thing every time I've done this, and it was like bing bong bow ding. Cool. I like them.
So the question of when we get back on set, that's the real thing. In my optimistic frame of mind would say, come the summer, probably maybe end of June. I think if we get a drop off in cases, there might be a little bit of a peak of a few jobs coming on. What new protocols are in place then for how we keep safe on set, and whether with smaller crews, exactly how that all works. I think people are going to need to be working that out. So something's going to be different when we go back on set. Not quite sure what that is, but we've got time to work it out. So I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that there'll be a little bit of a peak of work through the summer, something going on, just to help people, fill up the coffers. Depending on what government help comes in, maybe they'll extend that. But it would be nice. I think people want to work, and it'd be nice to get back on set and be able to do some work in a safe way. And then all the ideas point towards there being another peak in another kind of spike of cases coming perhaps in next winter. And over the years, this will become another illness which will then be there. But because number of people have had it, it will be less transmissible and it will become less serious over time. So even though it will end up being another thing that might come back, like a seasonal flu, but it won't necessarily precipitate a full shutdown.
Nice. Well, I kind of heard that we're going to be back working in June when the football season's open. So that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. Tottenham could win the league. Harry Kane will be back. Hey, you know.
Yeah. The alternative is that there's no football until this time next year, and they just pick up the league where we finish this time.
Oh no, don't do that. Oh well, look, we've had a cheeky little 10-minute chat. I think we'll leave it where we are because we don't know, but everyone's in the same boat. Talk to each other. I like this because it's kind of not forcing me, but it's getting me kind of talking to people and having a little chat and checking in as well. So ladies and gents, we'll leave it there for the time being because there's loads of stuff that is going to be happening over the coming week, and I want to get this up and onto the podcast today. So thank you, Jay.
Very welcome,
man. Enjoy your gardening, brother.
Thank you very much.
And if this becomes a thing, everyone will be like that. Oh yeah, let's get Jay back on. He's like you're the fountain of knowledge when it comes to AD and everything else. It's like I'm just phoning you up.
I'm just regurgitating information I read in other places. Is right.
Oh well, a mate of mine saw a friend that heard on the train that there was going to be lasagnas being made in Wembley. So let's all go to Wembley. Well, Film Family, thank you so much. Thanks for listening. Oh, go on.
Before we go, just one thing to say is there is obviously there might be coming. There's a friend of mine who's working on a thing which may come to fruition, may not. But this idea, freelancers in the entertainment industries have a broad range of skills and a really strong range of skills, and you might not think that they're naturally transferable to helping out anywhere, but you might be surprised. There's just the sort of the can-do attitude and adaptability of freelancers within the UK can lend itself to helping out. So there are some things going on that that may be coming out. What I'm going to do is I'll send you a link for people to check through. It's sort of an offer. So anyone who's freelance who wants to make themselves available to help and offer their skills up, they can put their name down. And it's possible, it may come to nothing, but it might be, as things get stretched, as the NHS gets stretched, they might just need more helpers, people who are willing to come out and offer a hand. So I'll send you the link.
Right.
If you can put it in the description and people can have a look at it, it might give people something to, feel that they can help in some way.
Amazing. Well, there you go, Film Family. Check out the bio, read the link, go check it out. And if you do feel like you want to be giving back, this could be your opportunity. Amazing.
Nice one.
Thanks, man. Well, look, until we meet again, Film Family, big love. That's a wrap. Ciao. All right, thanks, Jay.
So that was a chat with the king or queen in the game. I give it a shout at the end so you all know the name. It's the Film Gods Podcast. The what? The Film God Podcast.